Welcome to Today in History. On June 18th, history was written in fire, courage, and tragedy. From space missions to battlefield defeats, from women breaking barriers to disasters that changed lives forever. Let's dive into the past and discover the stories that shaped our world.
The Titan submersible disaster 2023.
On June 18, 2023, the Titan submersible, on a deep-sea expedition to the Titanic wreck, imploded under immense pressure. All 5 passengers on board tragically lost their lives. A journey meant to explore the past turned into a horrifying moment of modern history. It reminds us, even with all our technology, the ocean is still untamed and unforgiving. What drives humans to chase the edge of the unknown, even when the risk is death itself?
SALT II Treaty signed 1979.
In 1979, U.S. President Jimmy Carter and Soviet leader Leonid Brezhnev signed the SALT II Arms Control Treaty in Vienna, aiming to limit nuclear weapons during the Cold War. At a time when a single button could end civilization, this handshake symbolized hope. It raises the question, how close have we come to total destruction, and have we really learned anything since?
Sally Ride becomes first American woman in space, 1983.
On this day, astronaut Sally Ride soared aboard the Space Shuttle Challenger, becoming the first American woman in space. She broke Earth's gravity and a massive glass ceiling. Her flight wasn't just about science, it was about saying, yes, women belong here too. Can you imagine the courage it took to ride that rocket into the unknown?
Napoleon's final defeat at Waterloo, 1815.
The Battle of Waterloo marked the end of Napoleon Bonaparte's reign. On June 18, 1815, British and Prussian forces crushed his army, forever altering European history. Napoleon rose like a comet, but fell just as fast. Waterloo became more than a place. It became a symbol of defeat, and perhaps a warning that ambition without restraint can destroy even the greatest leaders.
United States declares war on Britain, 1812.
The War of 1812 officially began when the United States declared war on Great Britain, largely due to maritime conflicts and trade restrictions. A young nation standing up to a global empire. This war tested American resolve and proved something crucial. Freedom isn't just declared once, it's defended over and over again.
Charles de Gaulle's resistance, broadcast 1940.
After the Nazi invasion of France, Charles de Gaulle fled to London and, on June 18, 1940, delivered a legendary broadcast urging the French people to resist occupation. One man, one microphone, and a message that lit the fire of resistance. Sometimes the voice of freedom isn't loud, it's just brave.
Amelia Earhart flies across the Atlantic, 1928.
Amelia Earhart became the first woman to fly across the Atlantic as a passenger on June 18, 1928. Though she wasn't piloting yet, this was the beginning of a legend. She showed the world that the sky doesn't belong to men, it belongs to the daring.
Mysterious lunar explosion observed, 1178.
5 monks in Canterbury reported seeing the moon explode, flaming, shaking, and splitting, on June 18, 1178. Today, some theorize they may have witnessed a meteor strike that formed the Giordano Bruno crater. Was it real? A celestial event? A shared hallucination? Whatever it was, it proves that even in medieval times, people were watching the skies and wondering.
British European Airways crash, 1972.
A BEA Trident jet crashed shortly after takeoff from Heathrow, killing all 118 people on board. It was Britain's worst air disaster at the time. A routine flight, suddenly silence. Tragedies like this force us to question, how far have we come in aviation safety, and how much is still beyond our control?
Susan B. Anthony fined for voting 1873.
Susan B. Anthony was fined $100 on June 18, 1873, for illegally voting in a U.S. federal election. She refused to pay and became a symbol of women's suffrage. She cast one illegal ballot and launched a revolution. Her defiance paved the way for millions to vote freely today. What would you do if you were denied that right?
Ataturk's National Unity Declaration 1919.
Mustafa Kemal Ataturk issued a general order urging unity among Anatolian and Rumelian groups during the Turkish War of Independence. Unity was his secret weapon. He didn't just fight with guns. He fought with ideas, with vision, with the belief that a people united could rewrite their future.
Flood disaster in Bangladesh 1976.
Heavy rains and landslides killed over 140 people in southeastern Bangladesh, displacing thousands and highlighting the vulnerability of the region. Sometimes the greatest forces of destruction don't come from war, but from water, climate, geography, and poverty, a deadly combination that still threatens millions today. And that was June 18th in history, a day of discoveries, defeats, bravery, and loss. Which story moved you the most? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more journeys into the past. Until next time, stay curious.